What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, let's talk about these welterweights, man, and the fact it's been reported that by Michael Benson. Shout out to Cornerman Radio who shot me this link to this tweet that came from Michael Benson. Michael Benson is a very respectable source for news out of the UK. He reports that Shawn Porter will reportedly defend his WBC welterweight title against Yordeis Ugas on March 9th in Las Vegas, according to El Nuevo Herald. This came out today, November 13th, 2018. So let's talk about it. Now we will, you know how things are. It's reported that this is going to happen. As of late, there's a lot of things that are reported that wind up not coming to fruition. But we're going to go with it for the sake of this conversation. Like, this fight is actually going to happen. If you hear something else tomorrow or the next day, it is what it is. But let's talk about it as if this fight is going to happen. Now, before I do that, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can know when we release more videos and when we do the live stream. And I hope you come to the live stream that we do every morning. A lot of very mature boxing fans. It's a lot of fun. And thank you for everybody that supports the channel on Patreon, Venmo, and the super chats in the live streams. Now, Shawn Porter is the WBC champion. Shawn Porter, the last that I'd heard, said that no other fights other than Keith Thurman and Errol Spence Jr. interested him. He also had some mandatories that he needed to from the WBC. There were people that were lined up to be his mandatory that he's supposed to defend his title against. Now, just to go over the history of it, because this is one of the mandatories that Mauricio Suleiman had mentioned for him. Quoting an article back that came out prior to the fight between Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman, he said there's a healthy rivalry in the corners. We're going to present the corner with the belt to one of the parents. It's an interesting fight, moving blah, blah, blah. He said that Thurman had an option to fight the winner for the title if he's registering and he's ready. And if not, Thurman's not ready, then it will be one of the mandatory challengers. On the one hand, we have Andre Berto, or on the other hand, the winner of the fight between Yordeis Ugas and Cesar Barrionuevo. Now, I do believe that on the undercard of that Yordeis Ugas fight was on the undercard of the Danny Garcia Shawn Porter fight, and now Yordeis Ugas won that fight. So clearly, he would be the guy. That's better than an Andre Berto fight, and quite honestly, it's much more realistic fight than the Keith Thurman fight, because Keith Thurman hasn't been it's almost 2 solid years since Keith Thurman has been in the ring, and although there had been some rumors that Keith Thurman was going to come out and go straight to Shawn Porter, apparently that's not the case, because he's got some sense. He wasn't going to be able to win. Shawn Porter has been a much more active fighter. Keith Thurman is going to need some tune-up fights before he's ready for Shawn Porter, and I think that's fair for Keith Thurman. However, Keith Thurman should just be flat out stripped of the WBA belt. That's without a doubt. I have no idea how in the world Keith Thurman still has that WBA belt, having not fought in almost 2 years. But, rumors are that he's going to be coming back in whenever. But this is months and months and months of rumors of whenever he's going to come back. So of all the terrible fights, not terrible fights, excuse me, of all the fights that I don't want to see, that I didn't necessarily want for the WBC championship, because I wanted it with Errol Spence Jr. Flat out. I wanted it with Errol Spence Jr. I wanted Errol Spence Jr. to be the guy for there to be unification in the welterweight division. And Shawn Porter and Errol Spence Jr. is the most realistic. It's the most realistic and unification fight that could be made. more so than Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, of course, would be a great fight that a lot of people are looking forward to. There'll be big fanfare behind the fight and all that good stuff. But considering that, Top Rank is Top Rank and the PBC is a PBC, it's obvious that neither one of those guys are really pushing to make that fight next. And more than likely, both sides that are responsible for the promotion and the development of that fight are looking to carry it out for however long they need to carry it out until they think they can make maximum money off of it, right? Because it's too much like right in boxing right now to make a fight between the guys that have the belts right now, right? It's always, it's not a good fight. It's not a good fight now. It's a good fight down the line. Man, if it's a good fight now, it's just frustrating. So obviously, the second choice, the Shawn Porter Errol Spence Jr. fight is not happening. Next, we've known that for a while. Yordeis Ugas, though, I'll take the fight. It's a better fight than Andre Berto. Andre Berto was a fight that they already had. So that would have been a rematch of a fight that Shawn Porter had already won. But Yordeis Ugas is going to create. This is an interesting scenario because if Yordeis Ugas beats Shawn Porter, and Yordeis Ugas has a chance to beat Shawn Porter, I favor Shawn Porter in that fight. I don't think that's going to be an easy fight for Shawn Porter. There's a lot of people who are really looking for and thought that Errol Spence Jr. had a chance to Yordeis Ugas had a chance to beat Errol Spence. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys. I thought that was going to be something that Errol Spence Jr. was going to, now I want to say walk through him because Yordeis Ugas is he's a very solid fighter. And he's definitely proven that in his last few fights, man. That dude is a solid fighter. But I'm leaning, I would lean towards Shawn Porter in this. But at least with that going down, I'm not sure if that is going to eliminate Yordeis Ugas if he loses as a mandatory for Errol Spence, because I really would have predicted that before Mauricio Suleiman said what he said, that Errol Spence Jr. would have fought Yordeis Ugas before Shawn Porter did. So that's just kind of, it leaves Errol Spence Jr. without a second opponent that a lot of people wanted to see him fight. But if Yordeis Ugas beats Shawn Porter, then hey, man, hopefully we can get the Errol Spence Jr. Yordeis Ugas fight. Any way that unification goes, I'm cool with it. And, I'm not particularly excited about the Errol Spence Jr. Mikey Garcia fight. That we heard was almost close to being done. It's been almost close. It's close to have been done for, man, what is it, about 2 weeks now? So I would suspect that we're going to hear pretty soon. Showtime is supposed to today, and today's date is November 13th. It was supposed to be this week, not today, this week that Showtime is going to announce its fights for the beginning of 2019. And then, when they do that, we'll get some type of clarification on what all this stuff is going to be, and because there's a lot of fights out there that are rumored to being made, but we won't know for sure until the official announcement is made for actually, I think there might even be two announcements, one from Showtime and one from Fox. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but there are other fights that we're looking for, like whether or not Manny Pacquiao and Adrian Bronner fight is going to go down. Abner Mares versus Gervonta Davis is another one that is supposed to be made. Hopefully next year we can get. I know that that Jared Hurd is going to be fighting on the undercard of the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight, but next year. And I know this won't be announced. I'm really hoping that we can get Jared Hurd versus Jermell Charlo. There's so many fights in the PBC that be made that are really good fights. This particular fight with Shawn Porter and Ugas, if it winds up being the case that this fight is made, is just something where, it's something where I'll take it. I'll take it. I'd rather we cut right to the chase and get to all the unification fights, get one champion, and then have people all defend, then have that champion defend the belts. I just think it's a bad thing. It's a bad look for American boxing, and it's a bad look for boxing all around, that Alexander Usyk is the only person to be a unified champion in his division. And somebody else, I'm hoping that that he winds up encouraging people to pursue the same thing. But I got a comment on a video that I did actually earlier this morning, kind of a one-off video on a subject not a lot of people are interested in, which is Dillian White versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller. And somebody said, hey, Jarrell Big Baby Miller, not Big Baby Miller, but Jarrell Big Baby Miller versus Dillian White. The Dillian White's the type of guy where, he won't take a championship fight if he can find something that's going to make him more money. I wish that was the case in the welterweights, because these guys are taking fights that are making them less money just to get out of a championship fight. So, anyway, it is what it is. Man, thanks guys for listening. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Hopefully we get this fight and we don't get the Andre Berto fight. And with that, I'm out. Peace.